what's your message to the leaders of those countries about Chinese electric vehicles dominating the market?
I think I would not say it's dominating the market. I would say it's just to bring more diversity to the local customer.
In the automotive world, China has taken everyone by surprise with its new electric vehicle engine. Although this project has been years in the making, the scale and impact of this innovation have caught the entire EV industry off guard.
Chinese manufacturers are revealing nearly a dozen new cars at the show. They say that the proposed EU tariffs on electric vehicles are simply unfair.
For an engine that predominates its time, China's new EV engine promises not just to reshape the automotive landscape with a greener approach. Still, it is bound to destroy the competitive footing of many major players in the industry.
Trade wars brewing over cheap Chinese electric vehicles. They've upended the global car industry.
How did China climb so high in the automotive hierarchy? And what exactly is this revolutionary engine? Join us as we reveal the engine that could redefine the EV industry as we know it. The disruption of the hierarchy in the EV industries by China. When we consider the automotive hierarchy, there are a couple of countries that have always been at the top of the food chain. This includes countries like Germany, of course, Japan, and the United States. It was only around the early 21st century that we started to hear about countries like South Korea and China and their subtle moves in the electric vehicle industry. For a bunch of countries that were supposed to be the new players in the automotive industry, it appears as though they have what it takes to be the pace setter at a global level. Considering the new players, China seems to be the most daunting of them all. Apparently, with their new engine, they seem to have made a really substantial proclamation that they are taking over the game completely. Thanks to their new product, other countries aren't just looking at the country as a possible global exporter of anything regarding automotive parts.
European Union countries have agreed to impose new tariffs of up to 35% on electric cars from China. That's on top of the existing 10% duties.
But news has it that in the coming years, they might give Germany a run for their money, especially as regards the electric vehicle industry. Is that too much of a daring thing to say? Perhaps not, considering the extensive efforts China has made to get to this point. Talking about the efforts of China to bring the initiative of EVs into the country, there are a few people who look to a certain individual, Wan Gang, as the one who spearheaded China's electric vehicle movement. Apparently, Wan, who is known as the father of China's EV revolution, was a former engineer and academic who studied automotive engineering in Germany. It was there that he gained crucial insights into EV technology, which he later brought back to China to shape the nation's ambitious plans for clean energy. So typically, his vision and leadership set the stage for the booming EV industry that's now making headlines around the world. That much is true.
We're turning to the car industry now because the US and Europe have been going after China recently for unfairly propping up its electric car industry.
However, while all of that is true, we can't simply give him all the accolades, considering how impressive the project itself is. That being said, it's safe to say that the concept of electric vehicles in China wasn't the brainchild of a single individual, but rather grew from a collective push driven by government policymakers, industry leaders, and engineers.
China came along and thrust the future upon us now. It's achieved this with breakneck growth in the industry, fueled by government subsidies.
In truth, for China, the EV initiative all started as an experiment by the government towards green energy.
But now their domination in that market is causing tension with the West amidst fears it'll become too reliant on cheaper Chinese green solutions.
However, we can clearly see what the result is like in present times. Right from the year 2023, China became responsible for 58% of global electric vehicle production, with an astonishing 9 million passenger EVs sold within and abroad. Considering how many of those vehicles are now being owned by commuters, the atmosphere in China can almost be likened to a haven, one which is almost free from air pollution. Now, how's that for advancement? As regards EVs, it all boiled down to the impact of fossil fuels on both the environment and the economy. China, which had noticed that it was becoming way too reliant on imported oil, had long looked for a way out. And being that the EVs were one of those ways to curb the importation of oil, they were willing to give everything they had. As such, they were willing to pour resources into EV research and development, offering generous subsidies to companies willing to make the switch to electric. But that was just the beginning. Eventually, China introduced quotas requiring automakers to sell a minimum percentage of EVs, essentially mandating the industry to align with the national goal of electrification. At the moment, you can pretty much say that the automakers are a little on the edge because of this. Apparently, what the quota by the government does is that it speeds up the production of electric vehicles in the country and puts producers at risk of losing their share if they slack to meet the quota. As demanding a request as that might be from the government, the country seems to be reaping the fruits of its efforts in many ways already, as it has led to the rise of more companies in the country. One such company is Build Your Dreams, popularly known as BYD. Since the inception of this company in 1995, it has always dealt with the production of batteries. It was when the EV market started to boom that they began to produce batteries needed for electric vehicles. And today, they have joined other companies around the world in cashing out big time. One of the top businessmen who was able to foresee the company's growth and trajectory is Warren Buffett.
You were the one, though, who convinced Warren to buy an electric car company in China, BYD, which is now, here we are a year later after first discussing this.
Being highly impressed by the vision of the company, he invested his money in 2008. Now, imagine how much he must have gotten in return. Guess they don't call him a top businessman for nothing. With all considered, BYD isn't the only company that seems to be reaping the benefits of the evolution and success of the Chinese EVs. There are others like NIO, which focuses on high-tech luxury EVs, and XPeng, which adopts autonomous driving features. Looking at how far these companies have come, it is safe to say that these companies are no longer just making EVs. They are taking the innovation to a whole new level, making cars that are stylish, affordable, and highly packed with present tech features. At the moment, it's safe to say that comparing China's adoption of EVs to those of other countries is completely illogical, and this is for many reasons. On record, we know that in just 2022, the country sold over 6.8 million electric vehicles, accounting for more than half of the global EV sales that year.
But with annual sales of electric vehicles already above 30% of all cars in China, the mood there remains optimistic.
Even by the year that followed, 1/3 of all cars sold in China were electric.
China is responsible for more than half of all new EV sales around the world.
A figure that couldn't be compared to that of any other country. Still not convinced? What if we tell you that China has more charging stations than any other country in the world? As a matter of fact, the number of charging stations exceeds 1 million, with the United States having just 1/10 of that. In fact, in some Chinese cities, it's now more common to see a charging station than a gas station.
Welcome to Shenzhen. This is the biggest charging square, not of China only, but also of the whole world.
If you are looking for an EV heaven on earth, China is definitely your place to go to. With their electric ambitions showing no signs of slowing down by 2035, China is bound to be at the forefront, with no country being able to stand against them in the EV industry. If you are one who has been following the trend of electric vehicles, China's current position in the industry would definitely come as a shock, no doubt. With that much accounted for, a couple of questions are expected. For instance, how did China come to have the upper hand in the electric vehicle industry? Well, there's definitely a reason behind that, and we are here to help you. It gets even way more interesting from here onwards. So stick around to find more, the secrets behind China's EV industry. If you are asked what the main components of an electric vehicle are, you might probably call out a few components like the electric motor, inverter, the onboard charger, and maybe the thermal management system, right? Quite true. These are all important components. However, there's yet one other component that many tend to leave out all the time, and it has proven over the years to be the most important of them all. If you haven't figured it out yet, you should know we are talking about the battery pack. Over the years, batteries have proven to be the heart of electric vehicles, accounting for nearly 1/3 of the total cost of electric vehicles. Why is that? Well, It's simply because the processes of extracting and refining essential minerals like lithium, nickel, and cobalt, which are needed for the production of the batteries, are complex and generally expensive. So you see, while importers of the batteries might pay a fortune just to get the batteries they need to build their EVs,
doesn't use the expensive raw materials. There's no cobalt, there's no copper, there's no lithium, there's no graphite, which is really primarily controlled by China today.
this right here is where China has the advantage. As a country, China dominates in the production of these batteries, controlling much of the global supply chain. So, while they have just enough battery packs to build their electric vehicles, they are also massively gaining from the exportation of the battery packs to countries willing to leap into the EV industry themselves. As a matter of fact, Chinese companies produce about 80% of the world's lithium-ion batteries, and they owe this accomplishment to the contemporary Amperex technology company, Limited CATL. As the world's largest battery manufacturer, CATL supplies batteries not only to Chinese automakers, but also to global giants like Tesla, BMW, and Volkswagen.
It is just starting to ship electric vehicles, causing some concern to the likes of Elon Musk and Tesla and a number of other car makers.
So you can see how big of a deal they are in the EV ecosystem. One of the reasons for China's edge is its early and strategic investments in battery technology and raw material mining. Over the past 2 decades, China has poured billions into securing resource contracts worldwide, from lithium mines in Chile to cobalt sources in the Democratic Republic of Congo. This foresight of theirs, which goes way back in time, is what has made it hard for other countries to compete. To attain the heights that China is in now, they'd have to look for ways to overcome the supply shortages and surge in prices. What's more, there's also the problem of finding sites that are yet to be monopolized by any government, which makes things even harder. While we are at it, you should know that China's dominance in batteries isn't just about numbers, it's also about innovation and affordability. Did you know that Chinese battery costs are among the lowest in the world? It's true. Thanks to large-scale manufacturing and cutting-edge technology, they are able to mass-produce these batteries and sell them at a lower price. So, while they are still expensive, they certainly aren't as expensive as those of their competitors.
Chinese brands an unfair advantage on price that they've been able to flood markets in other countries.
Still, there is more to the batteries. Apparently, companies like CATL and BYD are leading in the production of batteries, and they are developing batteries with longer ranges and faster charging times. Take, for instance, not so long ago, CATL unveiled a sodium-ion battery, which is a cheaper alternative to lithium-ion. This is bound not just to reduce the dependency on lithium, but also to lower costs even further. Of course, seeing all China has achieved in the past years, other countries in Europe and North America are ramping up efforts to develop their own battery industries. However, we are uncertain of how that will turn out for them. With China being at the forefront in the management of things concerning battery packs, there are doubts that any EV industry would want to patronize a new battery industry other than those in the country. Clearly, you can already see how the whole thing is starting to appear to be a monopoly. Still, we have to be honest with all of the work done. China deserves all the accolades in the history of EVs. Considering all that China has achieved in the past years, anyone wanting to compete in the EV space likely needs to collaborate with the companies in the country. This points out the level of power that one single country could have in an era that is transitioning into something greener. The story is truly one of a kind. It shows that despite China stepping into the playing field late, they have been very busy all these years trying to catch up with their peers, and they did it. As if it wasn't enough for them to have control of the batteries, they have just presented a new EV engine that ridicules the integrity of the others all across the globe. Which one of the engines exactly are we talking about? This is the part you have been waiting for. Sit tight and find out. The new EV engine that took the electric vehicle industry by surprise. In the past few years, China has produced a lot of electric motors for its electric vehicles. However, that which stands out the most in recent years is that of the BYD Seagull. This is the engine that's making waves. Do you know how we initially talked about how China is making their batteries cheap to beat the competition between the other industries creating battery packs? Well, it turns out that they have taken the whole thing to another level with the BYD Seagull. As a matter of fact, the BYD Seagull, which happens to be a modern electric vehicle, goes as low as $11,000, giving a larger audience the avenue to own one without having to break the bank. What even makes this particular subcompact electric vehicle special is the fact that it comprises all the modern tech present in EVs. So, while you can say the vehicle is small, it could still be compared with other renowned EVs in the market. Besides all of the smart, functional features that the car has, it also has a single-arm wiper system. As random as this appears, this sole system has proven to reduce the weight and costs of the vehicle while still posing to be a modern aesthetic. From the battery packs down to the vehicle's engine, BYD seems to be all about reducing costs to the barest minimum. The company has just proven that it is possible to maintain style and performance at a minimum cost. As great as the cost of the Seagull is, you have to agree that it isn't just about price, but the value that the car provides at that budget. Of course, by now, you must be aware of the reputation of the battery packs of the BYD. Being that they got the leverage in the production of batteries, they were able to manufacture the perfect battery pack that could power up the engine of a Seagull, letting it run for roughly 190 miles per charge. If you truly know much about EVs, you should be able to tell just how much of a big deal this is for a vehicle of its price range. In a few words, this can all be regarded as a revolution in the EV industry. As it stands, analysts are calling the Seagull a wake-up call for automakers due to how power-efficient the engine is. According to their analysis, they predict that the big guys may soon find themselves scrambling if they don't respond to the shift that China has brought. As these vehicles from the BYD continue to make waves, it's only going to get worse for the traditional automakers that have focused on producing high-priced EVs with premium features. They most likely wouldn't be able to withstand the wave of affordable options like the Seagull, which is bound to flood the market. One of the automotive analysts who believes that the introduction of the Seagull is most likely going to disrupt the flow of things is JP Morgan. In his words, the market is most likely looking at a sweep if the automakers do not rethink how they can approach pricing and value in the EV space. With dealerships now facing customer demand for affordable, no-compromise EVs, companies that haven't adapted risk losing market share to brands like BYD, which are already leading the charge. Considering the progression of things, the shift that the launch of Seagull will bring will most likely be felt in China first, as the citizens are really down for affordable and practical EVs. Eventually, BYD will mass-produce the EVs to dominate the international market. As a matter of fact, it's already even happening. Just recently, BYD surpassed Tesla in EV sales, demonstrating the increasing global appeal of its vehicles. They have proven that it's not just possible to make electric vehicles cheap, it's also possible to make them accessible to anyone in any part of the world. As regards all of this, we are looking at a price war between BYD, Tesla, and a few other big names. Imagine what that would be like in the coming years. Of course, with a certain level of availability of EVs, we are going to see electric vehicles take the roads in future years. Our roads can only get exciting from here on. As it stands, the Chinese are way ahead in a whole lot of ways. Apparently, as the world's largest producer and consumer of electric vehicles, they seem to be capitalizing on the established supply chains and advanced battery tech to launch several EVs in the market. In 2023 alone, several Chinese EV manufacturers released a couple of new models aiming to reach an international audience. This was only possible due to the advantage they got with the batteries. With companies like BYD and CATL working on high-energy density batteries that would power engines to run for at least 400 miles per charge, it only gets better. Obviously, we are expecting that while they work on the batteries, they'd most likely design them to support ultra-fast charging. Say, give or take, the models should be able to reach 80% charge in just 10 minutes. Now, wouldn't that be cool? If that happens, very few would have to worry about the hectic time spent charging an EV, being that they would almost quickly refuel as fast as a regular car. This development would win people over, making them have a change of heart pertaining to their general views on electric vehicles. With all the series of advancements being lined up, competitors like Europe and North America are definitely in for a surprise. While we lay emphasis on a couple of new models that seem promising, the BYD Dolphin and Wuling Bingo are driven upstage. Like the Seagull, these EVs are cheap and packed with features peculiar to modern electric vehicles.
A robot to do for you today. We know that the robotic technology is fast evolving, taking on a variety of tasks that previously only people could do, maybe even your job. Some of the new robots in development.
Mimi, the innovative personal assistant companion robot, is a game changer in human-robot interaction. Mimi embodies the likeness of a realistic female figure with a complete skin made from high-quality silicone rubber. This realistic exterior offers a sense of softness and safety, setting the stage for an intimate experience like no other. Beneath Mimi's realistic facade lies a sophisticated 21-degree robotic skeleton, enabling her to move, walk, and mimic human motions with remarkable fluidity and grace. With the ability to execute human-like walking, Mimi seamlessly integrates into everyday life, adapting to various environments without any effort. Powered by advanced artificial intelligence.
A big announcement from a San Francisco-based artificial intelligence company as the race to develop AI-powered products, well, that heats up.
But as Skylar Henry reports, the technology can also have some unintended consequences.
Mimi is more than just a pretty face. She is a capable conversationalist, equipped with speech and object recognition systems, enabling fluid interaction with her surroundings. Carefully positioned sensors around Mimi ensure optimal safety, fostering smooth communication and interaction with users. Perfect for tackling loneliness in men, operating Mimi is simple thanks to her user-friendly interface and intuitive software. Whether delivering typed commands or spoken instructions via Wi-Fi from any location, users can effortlessly tap into Mimi's capabilities without the need for programming skills. I.O. Another female robot created for companionship is I.O. It is a fembot created by Canadian inventor Latrung.
They make a cute couple. She's the type who turns heads.
Aiko, give me your left arm.
No problem. So what if she emits a slight mechanical noise?
I.O. is a remarkable blend of technology and realism. Trung dedicated himself to developing I.O. since 2007, funding the project with his own savings and credit cards. I.O.'s silicone skin is designed to mimic pain response, making it the first android to experience physical sensations. This technology has potential applications for amputees, offering a glimpse into the future of lifelike prosthetics. Le developed the brain software to enhance I.O.'s lifelikeness, enabling her to engage in meaningful conversations and interactions. With a vast database of sentences, I.O. demonstrates impressive intelligence and adaptability. I.O. analyzes weather data to provide timely advice, making her a practical companion. She suggests umbrellas on rainy days and warmer attire in windy conditions, showcasing her capabilities. I.O. can be modified to serve as a love robot, providing intimate companionship. I.O.'s sensitivity to denim, which causes her skin to discolor, is a unique aspect of her design. Despite this, I.O. is an impressive achievement in robotics and artificial intelligence. Simone is a special robot companion created by the Open Fembot project. She is a dynamic and innovative humanoid AI that is changing the way we think about robots. Simone is affordable, intelligent, and versatile.
Hello. Welcome to Open Fembot. I am Simone.
Making her a jack of all trades. She can entertain, greet customers, handle office tasks, sing, act, or simply be a trusted companion. Simone can be used for entertainment, a store greeter, an office receptionist, a robot singer, a robot actress, and as a human companion. Simone's creator, Thomas, wanted to show that a sophisticated robot doesn't have to be expensive. While other robots like Sophia may cost nearly $900,000, Simone costs only around $2,000. Despite being more affordable, Simone is more intelligent and capable than Sophia. She is powered by Microsoft Cognitive Services and has advanced features like facial and speech emotion detection, object and scene identification, and chatbot capabilities. Simone is made from off-the-shelf parts, including steel, plastic, rubber, and silicone, making her durable and lifelike. She has animatronics that allow her to move fluidly, and a mobile base that helps her navigate her environment with grace and precision. Simone uses smart senses to interact and engage with her surroundings, making her a remarkable companion. Interacting with Simone feels like chatting with a close friend, thanks to her keen perception and natural language understanding. She is a remarkable achievement in humanoid technology and is redefining what it means to be accessible and innovative in the world of robotics. Ying 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 Ying, a robot built by 31-year-old Chinese artificial intelligence engineer Zheng Jiajia, has made headlines as Zhang's bride. With China's significant gender gap and pressure to marry, Zhang turned to building his ideal partner, Ying Ying. Though their wedding ceremony lacked legal recognition, it was recognized in traditional Chinese customs. Ying Ying, though currently limited in her abilities to basic communication and mobility, represents Zhang's ambitious vision for a partner capable of evolving alongside him. She may even help with household chores in the future. Initial reactions to their union in China have been mixed, with some questioning whether it's a publicity stunt. The most shocking part is yet to come. As a robot companion, Ying Ying raises interesting questions about the nature of love, companionship, and the evolving relationship between humans and technology.
Would you start a romantic relationship with an AI chatbot? A slew of apps have cropped up in the last few years which allow people to create AI partners and spouses and even start virtual families.
Zhang's background at Huawei and dedication to artificial intelligence hint at potential breakthroughs in technology that could blur the lines between human and machine even further. Ying Ying may not be able to offer the same level of emotional support as a human partner, but she provides companionship and a sense of connection for Zhang. As the world watches this unconventional love story unfold, it's clear that Ying Ying has brought joy and fulfillment to Zhang's life. At the very least, Ying Ying will never be lonely again. April is a companion robot by Real Doll. It is a highly advanced and customizable robot designed to provide a personalized experience for its user. With serious attention to detail, April offers a variety of features that make her an ideal companion.
Mass production and marketing of a new generation of sex toys have heralded a new era of relationships between dolls and people.
For those seeking a realistic experience. April's features include enchanting eyes, beautifully brushable hair, and show-stopping makeup, all of which displays flawless beauty. Powered by cutting-edge AI technology, April possesses real ravishing expressions that react to voice commands and gentle touches. This allows for a level of interaction and connection that was previously only possible with a real human woman. What sets April apart from human women is her ability to be fine-tuned to individual preferences. Her voice pitch and personality can be adjusted to make her an irresistible companion tailored to specific desires. Constructed with top-of-the-line materials, including gel implants and silicone rubber skin, April offers an ultra-realistic tactile experience with longevity and durability. The inclusion of high-quality synthetic wigs, handcrafted eyes, and Hollywood special effects level detail further enhances the realism and immersion of the April experience. With April, users can expect a true real-life girlfriend experience aimed to fulfill desires and forge intimate connections. EMA, Eternal Maiden Actualization, is a 15-inch tall robotic partner introduced by Sega Toys in 2008, priced at $175. Designed for single men, EMA defies traditional robot stereotypes by offering interactive companionship. Equipped with infrared sensors and a love mode powered by batteries, EMA can kiss on command, sing and dance, aiming to provide users with warmth and affection. Sega Toys representative Minako Sakui described EMA as lovable and capable of girlfriend-like behavior, highlighting her emotional connection. With ambitions to sell 10,000 units in the first year, Sega Toys believed in EMA's market potential? We'd love you to share your opinion in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channels. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.